And here we are. Welcome back, Project 99 fans. We are rocking Gobbler, the level 33 Shaman here, just about to ding 34. I saved it for y'all. Obviously 34 is a big level for Shamans. Got a lot of new cool spells, so wanted to have y'all experience that with me. I am here at Golra Island, or Golra Iceberg, I guess is more accurate. I was excited to show this spot because, frankly, I never knew that it existed. I don't think in my entire time playing that this even, came up as a possibility for me. Which, I know I'm probably in the minority on that because I've seen other players here, mostly wizards. I think this is a popular spot for wizards because all the spawns here are static. They just, stand where they spawn. So I think it's easy for wizards to kind of pick them up and quad kite. And they're all warriors too. There's no spellcasters or anything like that. So I have seen a couple wizards here, although I don't think I've seen anyone else, to be honest. Part of that could also be because this is pretty out of the way. It's in Timorous Deep, which is off of the Oasis. You get there from the boat at the docks in the Oasis. If you've ever heard people shouting "Sand Giant to docks" in the Oasis, that's the dock they're talking about. So you wait there for a while and a barge will come in and pick you up and take you to Timorous Deep, and then this portion of this iceberg here is in the far southeast of the zone. So you zone in from Oasis in the northwest, and it's a big ass zone. So yeah, again, probably not a big surprise that no one comes here. You also can't bind in zone, so if you die, you're big time fucked with a terrible corpse run. Yeah, all these things combined, probably the reason nobody comes here. But if you do, you might have the place to yourself. You probably will have the place to yourself. And it's pretty fun. I don't know, for me at least, it was just something totally new. I've just never seen this before, so yeah. So I've got the past couple levels here. Sorry, coughing in your ear. And the model's kind of fun too. You'll see Yeti models like this in Kunark and stuff like that, but I don't think at this level that you would have seen anything or fought anything like this, so it's pretty unique in my experience. So I think this is going to be the one. This is probably the one that's going to ding us. One thing I did want to say, when you're coming here, there's a kind of an ice shelf that runs around the whole iceberg, and it only here, let's see if I can show it. You can kind of see there's this drop off here, and when you're in the water you can't get up here. There's a few spots on the iceberg where you can get up, so but you need to swim around for that. So one of the things I've been doing when I've been fighting mobs here is when they start to run, I either root them or slow them with my darkness clicky. Because if you don't, I had one run off into the water when I first started fighting, and I was kind of whatever. He was at 17%. I'm I'll just sit here and med and wait for him to come back, because they usually come running back at you once they get above 20% health again. But he didn't. He sat out there, 20%, 21%, 22%, slowly getting health back. And I'm just sitting at shore waiting for him. So finally I was alright, I'm going to chase this guy down, I guess, and kill him. Because he didn't come back. So yeah, so it was kind of a pain in the ass. I had to run out into the water, and then I had to not be able to get up because of that ice shelf again. So just a word to the wise, maybe root them. Yeah, they're going to beat on you a little bit more. Or just make sure you're killing them off the edge so they don't run that far. And there's our ding. Level 34. Oh yeah, the loot here is basically non-existent. They do drop a little bit of plats, that guy dropped 1 plat. I've had him drop 2 plat. What did they got before? 6 gold, so I mean it's not great. And then they drop a lot of these chunks of ice, which have no idea if those sell for anything. I'm sure they're just vendor trash, but not sure how valuable they are. Few words, yeah, so basically not a lot of loot to speak of. Alright, so level 34 here. Let's mem some new spells. So everyone says this is the big one for Shamans. The biggest thing, obviously, is that we get our first pet. Where is it here? I think it's, what's it called? Tell me I brought it. Oh my god, I don't have it. Oh no. Oh man, I didn't bring it with me. I'm kind of remembering now. I think it's not sold at like the typical Shaman spell vendor. I think maybe it's in like West Karana or something. And I didn't get it. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. I didn't get it because I was going to have my druid go and get it and bring it out to me because it's just easier for him to travel around and he can like egress and zone and get here lickety split. But I apparently forgot about that. That is a bummer. Alright, well, we're going to mem the rest of these spells, and I'm going to consider, once I'm done running through this little video, that I might pop on the druid and bring him out here. Because what fun is it for me to show you level 34 on the Shaman if you don't get to see my first pet? So, alright, let's talk about some of these other spells, because there are some other big spells with this level. The pet's obviously the biggest one, unfortunately. But also, Talisman of Tenarg here. This is kind of a big deal, because we haven't had an HP buff since level 1, Inner Fire. And I haven't even been casting Inner Fire, because it's 20 HP, which is, yeah, like, great. But also, it doesn't last very long. I think it only lasts like 25 minutes or something like that, and it's just a pain in the ass to have to keep recasting it. So, I haven't been messing with that for a while. But Talisman of Tenarg. I think it's up to 150 health. I think I got like 135-ish there. That's where it starts at. So 135 is definitely a big upgrade. So that's one for sure I'm going to keep on. And I think it lasts a lot longer too, like over an hour. So that's a worth it for sure. That's a big one. Instill is also kind of a big deal. So we've had Root, but Root only lasts 45 seconds. Instill, I think, at least doubles that. Maybe even a little bit more, like 95 seconds, 96 seconds, something like that. And it's double the mana cost, but like, you know, you get double the root time. So that's kind of a big deal too. 45-second root is not much. The other big spell, there's a lot of them here. Like I said, Scourge, we get a new dot, so that's always a big plus when we get a new dot. Obviously the disease line takes a little bit longer to tick, but certainly advantageous in certain situations. And then Winter's Roar, so we get a new direct damage, and I think we get a poison-based direct damage as well, but it doesn't look like I have that one either. I'll have to pick that one up too. Winter's Roar is the same direct damage as the effect on the Jaundice Bone Bracer, which I'm very much looking forward to using at level 45. So yeah, that's a pretty good DD. I think it does 263 damage, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, the pet, which I haven't shown you. So yeah, 34 is a pretty big deal as far as spells go. Alright guys, we're back, and through the magic of editing, I did go ahead and pick up those missing spells, and zipped them over here in the blink of an eye, so that I could show you. I mean, well, come on, I can't ding 34 on a Shaman and not whip out the pet. It's just, you can't do that. So, without further ado, I also went ahead and picked up Shock at the Tainted and Iceclad, popped over there. And I generally have my spellbook much more well laid out, but just, I will organize this all later just for the sake of the video. I'm just throwing stuff in there. I also went and picked up Friend Animal and Charm Animal, which, I don't know, I'll probably never use, but it was the same vendor as the pet, so it said, you know, grab it along with the 39 and 44 pet, so I don't have to go back there. So anyways, I want to show this camp a little bit more. So I talked about it. There's probably, without counting, maybe like 20-ish spawn points on the Iceberg, something like that. I could be off on that a little bit. But point being, if you're here alone, like, you're not gonna run out of spawns. You'll have plenty to work with. If you're here with a wizard who's quadding, you know, maybe you will run out of spawns. I don't know. But generally, if there's just a couple people here, it's probably not gonna be a problem. So the pet is green to me, but that's to be expected. These aren't like necromancer or mage pets. They're not like that dominant. What they basically act as is like a persistent dot that's always, attacking your enemy and doesn't cost any mana. I mean, it costs mana to summon the pet, but beyond that, you just get free damage essentially. So I think, and granted I haven't played a Shaman in frickin' forever, but I think what you typically want to do is turn your pet's taunt off, because he's like a super weakling. I think he's got like 300 health or something like that. So I don't want him getting hit or taking any aggro. I just want him sitting there dealing damage. And obviously there's some other benefits. If you need to like run away from a fight, he can take a few hits before he dies, and that'll kind of help you. But let's see what this guy can do, I guess. Let's open him up on a Golra here and see what this puppy is all about. And we're off. Starts it off with 3 misses. That's good. That means, what, he probably double attacked and like bashed or kicked or something like that. There's a 23 bite from him. Another 23, 17 for a kick. I mean, it's not nothing in terms of damage. I should probably like count up and see how much he does in a fight. What are we at? Like, I think he's over 100 damage at this point, which if I had like Envenom Breath ticking, would not have done that much yet. And again, it's free mana, so this is a pretty big deal in terms of just the additional damage output, not to mention all the other kind of benefits that come along with it. But I was pretty jazzed to get to this level and experience my first pet. And just for kicks, let's whip out this Winter's Roar, see what we can do here. 250. Yeah, that's big. And what's the mana on this? I feel like 150? That's not bad. I feel like Shaman DDs are fairly mana efficient, right? Maybe not compared to like a wizard or something like that, but I think they're pretty decent. I feel like I remember looking at that on my druid and being like, why are the Shaman DDs better than mine? I don't know if that remains the fact forever or whatever, but, they're pretty good, I think. So, the one thing with this camp that you want to watch out for is, so like this guy right here, this is a hulking Golra, and they're a more rare spawn. They don't pop up a lot, but he is blue to me at 34. There's some that are like even cons, even though I thought there was one over here earlier that was yellow to me, so he would probably be even to me. But I think even besides just the level, I think they're a bit of an undercon, because they hit like a freaking truck. Okay, so this guy's yellow to me at 34. So he's kind of badass. So they can be a problem, especially because they look exactly the same as the Golra model. I have pulled some of them before, like by accident, just because I wasn't paying attention, wasn't looking at the name, and just thought I was pulling a Golra, and all of a sudden it's a hulking. So that's not a fun experience. But I can take them down, which I'll demonstrate here. It just takes a bit of... I need to make sure I'm like full HP, full mana, and then even then I'll have to like beat on him until he gets me low health, and then I'll like root and run away and sit and regain health. And granted, again, I always have to caveat, like, I've got the fungi tunic, so yes, I know I'm regenning health way faster than most people. So I don't know if you could take him out, honestly, if you just had like a decent weapon and no fungi tunic. He could pose quite a bit of a problem, but even still, they're doable. If you can't take them down, that's okay. They don't spawn at every spawn point. I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 spawn points where they have a chance to spawn. So it's not like you're shit out of luck if you just keep spawning them. You're gonna have like no regular Golras left. Like eventually, they reach their cap and you can still kind of kill stuff on the island. Just gotta be careful. There's also a named mob that can spawn. I believe where any of the hulking Golra can spawn. His name's Halara or something like that. I wouldn't even attempt. I think he's like level 40. And yeah, there's just no way you're taking him out. So I think if that's the case, you want to be real careful of him. He's a little bit bigger, like his model is a little bit bigger than the regular or the hulking Golras. So hopefully that's one you don't accidentally pull. You'd probably know that he's there before you got yourself screwed. But anyways, so I want to make sure that I've got sort of my buffs and all my dots ready to go here. I definitely want to give myself quickness here before I attempt this. And again, this guy's yellow at 34, so he's probably about as high as you'll get with these hulking Golras. I don't know that I've seen one that high before. So, alright, let's give this a go and see what we can make happen, guys. Battle for the Ages. God, my conjuration is just awful. I recognize. Oh great, and he resisted. I probably should have mallowed him before I started on this endeavor. Let's at least get a slow in. We can dot as we go. So that stuck, thankfully. Yeah, I didn't really cast a lot of dots when I was coming up in this world, with the fungi tunic and just beating on things. It kind of resist again. I don't really want to waste all my mana on dots. Oh my god. Alright, we're just gonna melee this. The dots really would have helped, but hey, we got our pet dot, right? So let's see how we do on this. We're actually doing pretty good so far. Yeah, another thing I was thinking about, this probably is not nearly the unknown camp that I think it is, because I also learned here that there's a ground spawn on the Iceberg for the Shaman Cannibalize 2 spell for the quest that you have to do to obtain that. So if you're a Shaman, you probably knew about this place for sure. But again, I think it's just so out of the way that like no one ever comes here. So probably not that unheard of, but I was psyched to find out about it. Oh, I did get, I was kind of surprised when I came here. Like, I didn't bother casting any of my cold direct damage spells, because I was like, these guys are like living on an iceberg. They're probably going to be resistant. But I finally did test it, and they stuck pretty well. I don't think I have any issues with cold resisting, so oddly enough, these guys might have kind of low cold resist, so that's definitely an option, considering none of my dots landed here. And I might not, look at this, I might not have to run away on this guy and root him. He's kind of just, is he gonna run though? Still beating on me, he's under 20%, he's not running. Okay, I might, yeah, we're gonna root him. And pull the pet back. Oh, frick. Okay. Yeah, so here's the other thing with them. You saw how resistant he was to my dots. They break root quite a bit as well. So that can be an issue when I'm like trying to get away. I usually don't let my health get that low, just in case. But let's see. Okay, if I can just chill here for a minute. Just give me 1 minute, bro. And then we'll kill you. What was I even talking about? I don't know. I did get a nice little, another little trinket here that we're gonna mess around with. Oh, now he's running, and now he's gonna run into the frickin' water. This guy's just getting on my nerves here. Well, let's see what kind of XP we get from him. We got 4% into 34, and that didn't work. Pet, get on him. Don't go in the water, please! Oh, right on the edge. That was close. 4% into 34. This guy's yellow to me. Let's see what he gives. Okay, 3%. So was it worth killing him? Probably not, considering how much health and mana it took. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to clear them out for the wizards that are here. Anyways, I got this fungi-covered greatstaff. So this becomes usable to me at level 35, next level. And this casts essentially the same effect as the Warn effect on Fungi Tunic. However, because it's spell regrowth, they stack. So I'll have 15 regrowth Warn and then 15 regrowth spell. So that obviously saves me from having to cast regeneration. I don't think I even get regrowth until like maybe in the level 50s or late 40s, something like that. So this gives me regrowth way, way earlier. So I'll be stacking, you know, 30 HP per tick, just like standing up and fighting, which is insanity. I think the negative to this is that it snares you, so it like slows your movement speed while it's active, and I think it de-spells like any Spirit of Wolf you have. So I think what a lot of people do is they get like the clicky Spirit of Wolf that's part of the Shaman epic quest, which I haven't done that. I may do that. It's another time commitment, probably some cash that I'm running low on. But we'll see. I'll try it out next level and see if I can just find like a camp where I don't really need Sao. Like something like this where I'm just sort of, you know, the mobs are not that far spaced apart. You could just run from one to the next. You don't need Spirit of Wolf for that. So we'll kind of see, but yeah, that's obviously a crazy good item. Just to have that kind of regen this early on is nuts, which with the slow, Shaman slow, like, I don't even know if I need that much regen. More like damage output is really what I need, but it's certainly not going to hurt, so I'm really just kind of going all out with the Shaman in terms of getting him all the crazy items. Like I said, spending a lot of cash, running a little low, but haven't really had the desire to farm any plat lately. But maybe we'll do that soon, just to refill the coffers a bit. There is one other item that I kind of have my eye on here. Oh, come on. Sorry, I just panic when they start running for the water. It's so annoying. And I do have enough to buy it, but I have to raid my monk's bank, which I feel a little bad about. You know, all that guard killing got him some cash, and I'm just going to steal it from him, but that's okay. I decked him out when I started him anyways, so it's all communal cash. But the item that I want to get is, and I think I talked about this before, it's sort of like my item progression wish list, or weapon progression wish list. At level, what is it, 40, I think my damage cap gets lifted, so I was going to get the Herbalist Spade, which is like a 0.9 ratio, and it's also got the effect of the proc, which is like a root spell. I can't remember exactly which one, but I don't think it procs until like level 50. I know it's like a really sought after weapon for tanks, because the root proc I think generates a lot of aggro, and also just roots them in place, so they're going to attack you since you're closest to them as the tank. But I started thinking about that as a Shaman, like, is that really that good of a thing, or is that more of a detriment? Do I want to root things in place that like might otherwise run at 20%, and then they're just going to continue beating on me? I don't know. It doesn't proc until level 50, but still, like, maybe that's not the best choice. And the other plus side of that is that it can be used by any class, I'm pretty sure. So I could, like, you know, pass it to an alt if I didn't want it on the Shaman or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Just the effect with the root started weighing on me a little bit. So I started thinking about, there's another item that Shaman can use. It's another two-hand blunt. It's called the Exquisite Velium Brawl Stick. I think it's a slightly worse ratio. It's like 0.88 as opposed to 0.9 of the Herbalist Spade. But, I mean, that's really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. And, if I'm being honest, I think it's got a little bit of a fashion quest to it, which the Herbalist Spade is kind of like funny, because you're holding a shovel, but it really doesn't, excuse me, look that cool. And I think the spade angle of it actually points at the ground, like you don't hit things with the spade, which again would be funny, but I don't think it works that way. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I've never had the weapon, but I think I've seen other people with it. The brawl stick, I'm pretty sure it looks like basically like a black bat with spikes coming out of it. I think I've seen other like Valium weapons similar to that. I don't know if I've seen that one exactly, but it looks freaking cool as hell. And I'm kind of looking for a little fashion quest with my little troll guy here. Like the hammer's not bad, but it's also not that cool. So yeah, I don't know if anyone has any experience like with either of those items. The herbalist spade, like, is the root a problem? Would love to kind of hear from you guys in the comments if you have any opinion on that. But I also think the Valium Brawl Stick is slightly cheaper. I think you can herbalist spades around like 14,000 plat is what I usually see, and I think the Brawl Stick can be like 12,000, maybe even as low as 11,000. So it doesn't hurt to save a little cash when possible. I don't think either of them have any stats on them, so it's not really comparison for that, but yeah, I don't know. Just something I've been thinking about recently. We'll see where we kind of land on that, but I don't know. Brawl Stick's kind of leaning that way because it just sounds cool. And at the end of the day, if I want to swap it out for an herbalist spade, I can always sell it for probably pretty close to what I pay for it. I don't know. Just things to think about, I guess, as I ridiculously twink out the Shaman, but fun things ahead. So this is a pretty nice level. I'm liking having the pet here. I'll be honest, I haven't really been looking at his damage, but like, it's just nice. It's just consistent that he's just attacking. I don't even have to think about it. A little extra damage coming in there. So not a bad thing at all. And yeah, looking forward to future levels here. Getting to use the fungi staff next level. That'll be real soon. I'll have to find somewhere else to fight and feature some new content for that ridiculousness. And then we'll be pretty set there until level 45 when our Jaundiced Bone Bracer kicks in. Oh, and of course our weapon upgrade at 40. So we got some cool things ahead. Be sure to stop by for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I think this is running a little long, so I will for sure wrap it up here. But yeah, kind of a cool camp. Come check it out if you're ever in Timorous Deep and feel confident that you're not going to die and have a terrible corpse run. Alright guys, thanks again. Peace out.